Good afternoon. I'll just give it a few more seconds for everyone to join. But basically, in this video, we're just going to run through the Bitcoin dominance. And I've got a small, I shouldn't say small, a medium-sized a list of coins that we should go through. They're mainly the ones with daily trends. So, yeah, so first of all, thanks for joining. No real news in crypto at the moment. I'm just kidding. Bitcoin hit all-time highs last night. I think Ethereum got pretty close. I'll just double check. Let's have a look at Ethereum on the daily. Yeah, see, it got pretty close. 4,200. A little bit more work to do before it does hit those all-time highs. But yeah, Bitcoin. Let's have a look. Did it all-time highs? What did it get to? About 67,150. So this is the perp contract, so there's probably a little bit of difference there. G'day Winston, and Ash, Andreas, and Big Lou. Alright. Well, look, let's get started. First things first, let's cover the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, what I'm looking at here is, as you can see, it's trending, right? We're on the daily chart, it's trending. We've got a series of higher highs and higher lows, meaning that there's more money pouring into Bitcoin than the alt market. Like, it's pretty obvious. Hence the push on Bitcoin up to its all-time high. Now, if we look at this, we're going through a pullback. So what does that mean? To me, I think it means more money is flowing from Bitcoin into the alts, and we're gearing up to see the alt market push on. So if we go back to the Bitcoin chart, yeah, so all-time high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a pullback on Bitcoin on the daily. I'm not really trading it at the moment. There's nothing there. We do have a bit of a pullback on this 4 hour. It's not the cleanest trend. I don't like trading candles that just shoot up like that. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. But to be honest, I'm focusing mostly on the alts at the moment. I just want to cover a few things actually. So let's analyze what happened last time Bitcoin shot up to its all-time high. So that was, here, 15th of April. We can see that the run really started back, when was that? Around January this year. So we ran on, we hit all-time highs, and then we've gone through a pullback. So remember January, that time. If we have a look at the dominance chart, what was it looking like in January? Sorry about my internet, it seems to be very slow. So January, yeah, so we've had a downfall, which is odd. But if we look at things like alt perp, so alt perp is obviously altcoin index, covers most altcoins, back up to its all-time high. So that was in May. So that sort of started its run, around this time, around February, March. So a couple of months later than Bitcoin. And we'll just cover ETH, Bitcoin's main contender. When did that hit its all-time high? So that was back in May. So May, when was Bitcoin's? April. So yeah, almost a month after Bitcoin hit its all-time high. So this is what we're speaking about when Bitcoin goes to its all-time high. History is telling us that, history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, right? So I think, what I'm expecting is to see more money flow into these alt markets, and we see them follow suit and push on to higher highs, right? So basically that's the message I'm trying to get across by analyzing this Bitcoin dominance chart, looking at Bitcoin, looking at Ethereum, what happened last time when they hit all-time highs, and we can sort of plan our trades from here on in, whether we focus more trades on Bitcoin or Ethereum or, what the go is. So to me, personally, I'm probably going to be focusing most of my trades on the alt market, not so much Bitcoin. So let's have a look. We'll get started. like I said at the start of the video, I've just created a list. I've gone through the whole FTX perp list, and I've just put one of these little red tabs next to any coin that seems to be trending or it has some movement on the daily chart, just to save going through the whole list, because anything that has no movement or is not trending or is just basically flat on the daily, I don't trade. Right? I just skip straight past it, because we're trend traders. We trade with probabilities. So the probability of a trade working out in your favor is higher when you're trading with the daily. So I tend to do this every morning. I shouldn't say every morning, most mornings. I'll just create a list of things that are trending or moving on the daily, and then I'll go down those time frames and try and find those trends. So like I said before, nothing really on Bitcoin. Let's have a look at 1 inch. My apologies if I look off to this screen. I'm just having a look at the questions and the comments that come in. I'll try and answer the questions the best I can during this video. If not, I'll save them for the end. So 1 inch, what do we got on 1 inch? Now, we are trending, all right? So it's undeniable that the trend is there on 1 inch. If we go, but there's nothing really there, right? So we've got that higher high, higher low, we've pushed up, so ultimately on the daily, I'd be waiting for a pullback. Everything that goes up has to come back down. So we go down these time frames. If you are a bit of a lower time frame bandit, like I know Winston is, I don't mind hitting the 5-minute candles every now and again as well. You could go down these time frames, look for those cradle trades, those fib boosters, things like that. I tend to look for levels as well. I like to have a level back up my trades. But all right, so let's have a look at the 4. Again, it's very, it's had a really strong run. Very overextended on the 4, but do we care that much? Not really. It's just a point to note. If we go down the 1 hour, do we have a trend? Look, not really. At this stage, like I said, if we go back to the daily, I'd be running fibs from this level to the high, and in an ideal world, I probably wouldn't be taking any trades until we're back into those key fib levels, the 38, the 50, and the 61. When we're back around those levels, I'd be looking for cradles or boosters or something. So at the moment, 1 inch, skip. Alt perp. Now, I know you can see these daily levels that I've got in here. I know they're not perfect. They're just more of a reference point for me. I'll generally not take a long trade if it's creeping up to a level like this. And if I do, it might be a reduced risk, or I'll just make sure I can hit at least 1-to-1 before it hits that level. So daily, again, we've had a really strong push overnight. Today, very undecided. Flat. What's it going to do? Who knows? Go down these time frames and we'll have a sticky beak. Yeah, it seems to be stuck around this level. Is that a round number at all? Not really. 5,600, it's not really a round number. Nothing that I'll trade. Keep going down. Yeah, it's stuck on that level. Look, to be honest, I think this whole market we're going to be waiting for pullbacks. Bitcoin sort of set the pace. It's charged on. It's hit all-time highs, and now the alt market, I think we will follow suit. But history tells us that it's normally a month behind. So over the next few weeks is going to be very interesting. And for 4th, daily. Strong push up. We'll run a fib from the most recent low and see if that lines up with anything on these lower time frames. No trend. Overextended, pull back. Again, like I said before, we can go down these lower time frames, hope for cradle, fib boosters, things like that, or flat levels. This does look very thin though. I don't generally trade a market that's so thin. You can tell that it's thin. Oh, sorry, when I say thin, I mean the volume's very thin, so it's hard to get a feel. And if you do get a feel and it stops you out, it can be generally hard to exit that position, and you may get a lot of slippage. So I generally don't trade markets like this. ASD. So there's a few new coins in this perp list. if you'd like to download the new perp list, you can head over to, I think it's Sandwich Finance or something. They do have perp lists. They have all lists for most exchanges, and that's where I go to get them. ASD, and again another strong push, waiting for pullbacks. Yeah, go down these lowers. There's nothing really there. It's very messy, and it looks like it's very thin as well. Atom. Alright, daily is a mess, but it is moving. So the past few days we've had that high, a higher low. We've broken the previous high, so we're in an uptrend. I'll be looking for daily, long trades. What do we got on the 8 hour? The 8 hour doesn't look too bad. 4 hour. Ooh. We have a low, a new high, higher low, higher high, a pull back into that zone. Moving averages are fine. This 8 hour, what's this telling us? Look, Atom's there. It's one to keep an eye on. If you're if you're watching this chart, I would probably throw that in a watch list. Keep an eye on Atom. AVAX. Again, another strong push on the daily. Sorry, that was 4 hour. Daily. We are moving on the daily. Lower time frames. What do we have? Nothing really. Now I've got this daily level in here. It's, again, like I said before, it's just a reference point for me. Let's go down and see if we've got a trend. Most things have just had a really strong push up, and they're not trending. They're not creating those highs and those lows. They're just charging on, and it's really hard to trade markets like that. I know some people that are new to trading out there. You see coins like some of these sort of lower cap coins. They charge on. They're huge green candles. The temptation is there just to jump in. You think, oh look, it's already gone this far. I'll just jump in. I'll make a quick few dollars. But I can almost guarantee that when you do that, the market turns. It's like it feels like it's watching you, waiting for you to jump in. So then it just turns on you, and it wrecks you. So don't do it. AVAX, bit of a trend there on the 1. Is it trending on the 2 though? Not really. Messy. Move on. Alright. BNB. Now, I don't mind trading BNB, but I'm interested to see how this token goes now that they've cancelled their margin trading. Looks like it's going alright. What I would like to see is more money move from Binance into FTX. Fingers crossed. What do we got? So, yeah, we are moving on the daily. Ooh, we have a little bit of a trend on the 4 hour. What about the 2? It's there. Again, add that to the list. It's one to keep an eye on. BNT, same thing. Daily's moving. Daily's trending actually. Yeah, it's a trend. It's there. Ooh, that 8 hour didn't look too bad. High, yeah, so it's there. Bit of a waiting game on that though. MACD has some work to do as well. If we go down these lowers though, what do we see? Not much. It's a bit messy. It's these sort of mid time frames that I'll be keeping an eye on, but yeah, there's no trade at the moment, but it would be one to keep an eye on. What is this? Chromia perp. Never heard of it. Don't know what it does. But if it trends nice, I will trade it. A bit messy on the daily, so we can skip that. Ooh, very wiki on this. Let's have a look at the volume on it. Not too bad. Back to the daily. What do we have? Do we have a trend? High, low, high, low, high, high. Looks like it's creating a high low, so it's there. Looking for long trades. Nothing there on the 8. Let's have a look at the 4. Nothing really. These wicks would scare me off. Why? It just shows that there's, the volume is not there. And if you're taking a long trade, yes, it has wicked up really quickly like this. There's nothing saying that it won't do it down. It won't wick you down and stop you out and then, carry on and go long. And it's just, it really plays on your mind when things like that happen. So my advice would be to steer clear of things that look like that. Now, convergence perp was looking good, but I think this is really thin as well. Yeah, see, look at this. Very thin. Let's have a look at the 30. You go down these lower time frames, it just doesn't look that great. So it's trending on the daily. It's there. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. If you're sort of trading with a lower wallet size, I would, I'd consider trading this. If you're, one of those whales such as Craig, I would probably steer clear of it. Winston, you're probably the same too. All right, dash perp, moving on the daily. What do we have? High, low, we're trending down these time frames. Ooh, very messy. Yeah, it seems today it's just the time that it overnight for us Aussies, it just shoots up and now it's just sideways, providing absolutely no trading options for us. It looks like it just could be a waiting game. High, low, pushed on. 4 hour. It's pushing really hard on the 4 hour. What do we got on the 1? Bit of a trend forming on the 1. Oh, it's messy. When you get these candles that are just, a huge red one, a huge green one, huge red, huge green, it tends to indicate a bit of a trend reversal or some indecision, right? So you've got buyers pushing it up, sellers pushing it down, buyers pushing it up, and it's hard to trade markets like that. You just don't know what it's doing, so best just to skip it. How big is the big accounts? Look, it depends. Depends on the time frame that you're trading. It depends on how much margin you're using. Dot perp. So we've got a daily trend. So we've pushed up. I do have that level in there for the daily to watch. It's a round number as well. So $40. What's happened in the past? It's pushed up. It's sat on there and rejected. Pushed up. Sort of rejected. What I'd like to see is it to form a nice trend on top of this level and keep pushing on. But the daily trend isn't really there. It's just sort of hovering around. We can go down these lower time frames to see what's available, but yeah, it's just messy. Skip. Dragon perp. Moving on the daily. Let's go down these lowers again. What's happening? No trend. 4 hour. No trend. 1 hour. What's happening? It's just sort of grinding, isn't it? It's not providing trading opportunities for us. We need pullbacks. We need levels and we need pullbacks. Skip. Now, I'm sorry to say, but I thought there'd be a lot come out of this scan, but geez, there's not many options, is there? Yesterday, what's the size of that candle? That's huge. Engine, no real trend. Just a mess. Unless you go to these lower time frames, there might not be options. But that's fine. If we don't get those, those options to trade on the way up, the market always comes back down. We can short the market. If any of you don't know what shorting is or don't know how it works, let me know. I can try my best to explain how it does work with an analogy, but please don't say anything. All right, ETH per daily. Now this is one I'd really like to get on. I was watching this level here, the $3,670 mark. We did test it a few times on these lower time frames. I think it was the 4 hour. maybe the 8, you know, tested there. I was, you know, it did test again, but it just didn't give us that breakout option. Ideally, I would like it to have tested, breakthrough, and then create a nice bullish candle sitting on that level, you know, everything perfect, and then take off. It didn't give us that. Gave us some huge candles, gave us an absolute mess. I'm sure some people probably traded that. I wasn't one of them. But I'm happy, you know, it just didn't provide us with any options. So these lowers, geez, 1 hour, like look at that. There's nothing there. Skip. All right, what do we got here? So I'm just reading some comments or questions. Accidentally shorted. Oh no, so you woke up this morning and took a nice loss. Accidentally shorted. Happens to the best of us. I'll say it, if you don't know how to trade properly, if you don't know what you're doing, head over to tradercobb.com, sign up. You know, we've got a free course. What's the worst that can happen? You come out with some knowledge, some free education. Look, I'd never say anything. I'd never say no to something free. All right, exchange perp, again, push through that level that we're watching. This is just frustrating. You go down these lower time frames and there's nothing. They just pumped on and not giving us any trading opportunities. Sorry. What would I like to see here? Look, to get rid of that confusion. I've tested. A bit of a test here. If it didn't go up so high and pull back to that level, I'll try to provide some options, but nothing there. Feeder. Bond feeder. Yeah, look, nothing. If the daily looks good, I generally, if I go to the 4 hour and it's not, if it's just shot up like that, then God, it's almost straight to these lower time frames to look for, you know, pullbacks, levels, something like that. But yeah, it's just messy. Next, flow. Now I think flow from memory was in a downtrend. Yeah, so one of the handful of perp contracts, it's in a downtrend now. Unfortunately, I hold this as an investment long term. It's one of the ones that really hasn't performed. I think most of the NFT projects are built on flow, as far as I know. So I really thought, you know, with the NFT space pumping, like flow would perform, but it just hasn't done that. So we've got a daily downtrend. So what are we looking for here? We're looking for shorts. Now, shorting against Bitcoin, shorting against the rest of the market, like, is it a good idea? If it's trending, who cares what the rest of the market is doing? It's trending, it's there, I'll take it. So we've got let's have a look at the 12 hour. Look, it's trending on the 12. This 8 hour, it's pulling back, it's in that zone. Look, it's one to keep an eye on. There's no reason that you wouldn't take a trade on flow, you know, to the downside. So yeah, if you're following on, throw that in the list. Phantom. Again, daily trend, it's pushing. It's hitting that. Oh, look, maybe there's a bit of resistance around that round number of 2.5. Looks like it's sort of had a dig at pumping through there. When? Back in at the start of this month. It's having another crack. What's it going to do? Who knows? What I'd like to see is maybe test, create those higher lows, push through, and provide us with those, you know, breakout trades or a break and retest or something like that. At the moment, is it trending on these lower time frames? Look, 4 hours not too bad. 8 hours not too bad, but we need. Yeah, it's got some work to do. All right, FTT sitting on a level. Where did I get that level from? Let's have a look on the weekly. Not that significant, but it's there. It's something to keep an eye on. It's trading on the daily. What do these mids look like? Could just be, it's rejected this level, it's rejected here, it's rejected, around this area in the past. It could be doing it again. It really needs to create that higher low before I would be interested. GRT, trending on the daily. Lowers, what's it doing? Bit of a level forming, but nothing really there. Now, did anyone catch any trades today? Like, throw them in the chat if you did. I've been watching the markets like a hawk, trying to find some good entries on things, but there's just hasn't been much. It's been frustrating. The longer term investments are performing really well, which is a relief, but it's always good to have some trades going as well. Daily, 4 hour, that's about all I can say on that. HNT, yes, we had a level in here from yesterday, I believe. It tested, just played with that level, didn't give us an option. It's testing that level, looks like it could reject it. Are we going to get those higher lows for them? Look, who knows, but it's sort of ruined that, ruined it for a breakout. Break and retest is probably something, but that won't be anytime soon. Holy perp daily, what's happening? It's moving, it's there. Mid time frames, again, messy. Let's have a look at the 15. Let's see if there's any levels or something. But no, there isn't. There's nothing. I think today and this afternoon is a good day to enjoy going to the pub. Lockdown's finished here in most of Australia, so hit the pub and give the market some space, some breathing room. Let it sort its mind out. Get some direction, give us some trading options, and then we're on. Humансcape, now this had a huge run. I think it was like a 30% run or something over a day. Absolutely killed it, but nothing there. Lena, daily. It's moving. It's not really trending on the daily. Look, messy, very, very messy. All right, what do we got in this chat? Oh, an airdrop for 50 Bitcoin. Seems legit. Just ignore comments like that. Litecoin daily. Now, Litecoin always lags. Like, it's the alt market pumps and Litecoin is just, it's just that brother that hangs behind you, just kicking the floor and, just takes their goddamn time to move, dragging their feet, but eventually they get there. I think that's Litecoin. It's a great project. It's been around forever. It's just slow at, catching up with the rest of the market. 1 hour, nothing. Matic, it's moving, but it's messy. Mid-perp, moving. Do we have any levels? Do we have anything at all to keep an eye on? We do, it's not the best level. No, nothing. Next. MVDA. MVIS Digital Assets 10 Index Perp. Right. What does it do? Who knows? Does it trend a little bit? Will it provide us trading options? Yes, it will. When? Who knows? Right. Pull back to that level would be nice, but it'd have to be on one of these, you know, these mid time frames. One to keep an eye on. Near perp, moving. No real levels there. This is frustrating. This is probably the worst scan that I've done, where I've just found nothing. The market's just messy. Look, this 1 hour might look all right. We've got those series of higher highs and higher lows. Pull back, but that trend is ruined on the 1, so it'd have to be the 2. But is it trending on the 4? Not really. Ruined. OKB. Strong push up. Hmm. 1 hour trending back. What's happening here? The 2 hour though. Messy. Next. OMG. Look, it's moving. Messy. Look, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think it's definitely a waiting game. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be sitting on the sideline, sitting on my hands, trying not to make any silly trades like I did about 3 years ago. You know, when the market runs, you just make silly trades, and then you learn your lesson, and then some experience comes in, and then you look back and like, oh God, I was an idiot. How much money would I have now if I wasn't such an idiot and I invested in my education first? Soul perp. Again, moving. We're going to have a pullback. Give us a pullback. But all I can say about that is, nothing. Trending. Alright, it's pulling back. This looks a little bit more promising, but it's ruined. Great. Tron. Look, we're at the bottom. They are the coins that had the best looking daily trends. The rest of the perp list is a mess. It's sideways. Probably worse than this list. So at the moment, all eyes are on Bitcoin. What we'd like to see is a pullback on Bitcoin. May provide us with some opportunities on, probably not daily or 12 hour. Look, sometimes there's just no trends. Sometimes there's no trading options. Just sit back, watch it, let it do its thing. But look, that would have been nice if it closed small and bullish. Probably would have taken that. But yeah, 4 hour Bitcoin, that's probably the closest thing we're going to get to a trade. But yeah, for now, I think it's just a waiting game. Put Lou on, the market always seems to perform for him. Yes, it does. I caught some of Lou's scan yesterday. I'm not sure if he found any trades, but you know, even if there wasn't trades, Lou jumps on, does a scan, Bitcoin hits all-time highs that night. He's just a weapon. Yeah, use the lower time frames to catch breakouts. Yeah, that would be my strategy, to be honest. When the market is pumping, when things are moving really strongly, really quickly, it's always good to go down those lower time frames. If you're new to trading, I would probably reduce my risk as well with trading those lower time frames. But yeah, if things are moving really quickly, go to those lower time frames. Look for those strategies. Look for those levels, those fib levels as well. Try and find some entries and ride it. Yeah, Ash, a filthy 100 to 1. That would be good. Something like Axie. If we get in on Axie, you know, imagine a 5-minute cradle on Axie that just rides to 101. Wouldn't that be nice? We could all retire, buy boats, go on holidays, enjoy life. I'd probably still trade though. All right, I think that's it for me. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, to be honest, I think it's just sit on your hands and wait for some direction to come back. Wait for that, you know, that cyclicity to come back. All right, thanks guys. I'll speak to you soon.